Why do I feel stuck, even though nothing is technically wrong? Great question, isn't it? Well, let's explore it. This kind of stuckness can be quite difficult to explain. Your life might look completely fine from the outside. You're doing all the things. There may not be a crisis. Nothing has fallen apart or blown up yet. There isn't necessarily one big problem you can point to and say, that's why I feel this way. And yet, you can't seem to move. You keep thinking about the same things over and over again. You go around in circles. 3 a.m. wake ups. You make the pros and con lists and you understand the situation from every possible angle. But nothing changes. And then you start wondering whether you're being ungrateful because you've got a lot in your life. Or maybe you're lazy or dramatic. Because technically nothing is actually wrong and there's a lot to be grateful for. But something doesn't feel right either. It's just not logical. And I think about this through 3 different parts of us: the head, the heart, and the hands, from my learning days at corporate. The head is our thinking mind. It's the part that will gather all of the information. It analyzes the situation and it tries to make sense of everything. That's what it's built for. It thinks about what is practical and what is efficient, and of course, what's responsible and logical. What is most likely to work? That's why we have the pros and cons list. And very often, what we should do. But then there's the heart. And when I say heart, what I mean is the emotional and creative center of our world. Our desires, our preferences, our imagination, the part of us that responds to something and says, I want that. Or I don't want that. Or, oh my God, this feels so alive. I'm tingling. Or, oh, that feels so wrong for me. And it might not make perfect sense, but it's true. It's just true for you. And then there are the hands, the part of us that actually acts. The body has to stand up, send the message, make the call, leave the job, begin the project, or have the conversation. Because thinking about something is definitely not the same as deciding it. And deciding it is definitely not the same thing as doing it. So when you feel stuck, I think it helps to ask, where exactly am I stuck? The first kind of stuckness is indecision. So this is when your head and your heart are pulling in different directions, or often opposite. Your head might be saying something like, this is a sensible choice. This is what I should do. This is the responsible thing. This is what most people do, or this is what everyone expects from me. This is what makes the most sense on paper. But I bet there's another part of you that goes, yes, but I don't want it. Or perhaps I do want it, but I don't think I'm allowed to want it. Or it's bad of me to want that thing. And this is where the wants and the shoulds begin fighting with each other. What I want versus what I should want. What feels true versus what appears sensible. What would make me feel alive versus what everybody else is comfortable with or says is the better option for me. And that can create a huge amount of internal noise. You keep trying to think your way to the correct answer, but the problem isn't that you need more information. You probably have books of it. The problem is that you just don't actually agree with yourself. Part of you wants the thing, and another part of you is judging yourself, dismissing yourself, refusing permission for that want. So often the question isn't, why can't I decide? A better question is, do I already know what I want, but don't like the answer? Do I know, but worry that it isn't sensible enough? Do I know, but I'm scared what other people will think about it? Do I know, but believe I should want something else entirely? That is one place where stuckness can make a home. But there's another kind. Sometimes you've made the decision, you know what you want, you might have said it out loud, said it to somebody else, maybe you've even made the plan, but you don't act. So you don't send the email, you don't launch the thing, you don't sell the apartment, you don't end the relationship, you don't apply for the job, you just don't begin. And then you get frustrated with yourself because you think, but you actually haven't acted. So I've made the decision. Why am I still here? But making your decision or making a decision in your mind doesn't mean that the rest of you will actually carry it out. There's resistance that sits there, and that might be fear. Fear of failing or fear of being judged, highly likely fear of disappointing somebody. Fear of making the wrong choice is a big one that my clients often come to me with. Also, fear of losing the life you currently have, even though you know it no longer fits, you know it. You don't know what you're going towards, right? So sometimes there's even a fear of getting what you want, because getting what you want might change how people see you or how you behave in a new situation. It changes your relationships. It might require more responsibility. It might mean you can no longer hide behind the idea that you're waiting for the right moment. And when taking action carries a feeling that you don't yet know how to hold, avoiding the action can feel safer. So even when avoidance is making you miserable, so stuckness is not always laziness. It's protection. Some part of you is trying to prevent you from experiencing the rejection, the shame, the disappointment, conflict, loss, or the newness. And that protection might have once been very useful. But now it's keeping you in the same place. So this is why I talk about emotional capacity and emotional resilience. Excuse me. So you know this is real. Not as a way of getting rid of the fear, and not as a way of forcing ourselves to be brave. We can't do that. But rather as the ability to feel what comes with the choice and still take the next step. So, can I risk disappointing someone without deciding that I've done something wrong? Can I survive somebody disagreeing with me? That was a big, big thing for me. Like, it felt like death. Can I make the choice knowing with complete certainty how it will turn out? Or without that complete certainty? Can I feel fear without treating the fear as proof that I should actually stop? Because sometimes you're not waiting for that better plan. You're waiting to feel no fear, which you're human. And that moment may never arrive. There's also a third possibility that I think is very important to consider, is that sometimes you're not stuck, you're just paused. Timing simply isn't right yet. I had a conversation with a client about this recently. It could be that you just need more information. It could be that you don't have the capacity or support or resources right now to take the next step. Maybe something is actually still developing in you. So I want you to understand that not every pause is actually avoidance. It isn't necessarily fear. The question is whether the pause is actually giving you something. So is it helping you become clearer? Is it allowing you to prepare? Are you in a phase of gathering what you need? Or are you simply having the same conversation with yourself again and again while hoping that one day, well, that the discomfort will disappear? I've got news for you. It doesn't. Probably gets worse. Because there is that difference between waiting with intention and then waiting because you don't want to feel what moving forward would actually bring up for you. So when there's nothing technically wrong, but you still feel stuck, here's what I'm going to invite you to do. Don't begin with what is wrong with me. Don't start there because there's nothing wrong with you. So where is the disconnect? Is the argument between the head trying to choose the most sensible option while ignoring what you actually want? Do you know what you want, but you haven't felt allowed to choose it yet? Have I made the decision but feel afraid of the consequences? Or is this genuinely a moment when I need to pause, prepare, or wait? And then ask yourself, what do you think I should do? What do I actually want to do? What feeling am I trying to avoid by staying where I am? And what is the smallest step I could take? Smallest, teeny tiny. Not the enormous life-changing action. Just the next step that really feels like it's yours, that you can own. Because as you know, you don't need to solve your whole life overnight. There's no destination to get to, right? You simply need to bring the head, the heart, and hands back into alignment together to have a conversation with each other rather than constantly arguing. So the head can help you understand the situation. Your heart's going to help you recognize what matters, and your hands are there to help you really begin, hands being your body. So stuckness is not necessarily proof that your life is wrong or in the wrong direction. It's simply information. It might be telling you that logic alone cannot make this decision, or that you need permission to want what you want, and that's very worth exploring. That there's an emotional need that you need to learn how to carry. Or maybe that the next step simply needs to be a little bit smaller, a little bit safer, and you don't need to bully yourself into movement. You do need to become curious about what staying still is protecting you from. Because once you understand that, you can really stop fighting with yourself and begin moving with yourself instead. See you in the next one. And again, if this provoked any thoughts, any feelings, and you feel compelled to share it, please do. Don't be shy. Put something in the comments and let's engage with each other politely, of course, and invitation to subscribe to my channel as well. And please share if you know somebody in your life that could use a little bit more insight into where they are currently, then share my channel. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.